counted, and you have 3 different prebiotic sodas in your fridge right now.
And I regret giving you access to my fridge, honestly.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Conversation Point. Today we're talking about why suddenly everyone, including Zack apparently, is obsessed with gut health.
In my defense, Maya, gut health is genuinely everywhere right now. It's not just me.
It really is. So let's actually explain what people mean by gut health, because it's become this huge umbrella term.
At its core, it's about your gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living in your digestive system.
And there's real science behind why people care. Harvard Medical School research actually shows gut bacteria influences digestion, immune function, inflammation, and even mental health.
That gut-brain connection specifically is a legitimate, actively studied area, not just wellness influencer talk.
Which is exactly the kind of sentence that makes people buy a $40 bottle of probiotics without questioning it further.
Guilty, actually. I did exactly that last month.
$40 for bacteria, Zack. Truly living your best life.
They were expensive bacteria, premium bacteria.
So the science part is real, at least broadly. Gut health genuinely connects to a lot more than just digestion.
The question we're actually here to dig into is whether the specific products cashing in on this are backed by that same science or just borrowing its credibility.
Quick one for everyone watching. Before this video, did you already know about the gut-brain connection, or is this the first time you're hearing gut health tied to mood and mental health specifically? Let us know below.
Let's actually talk numbers on this whole soda explosion, Maya, because it's genuinely wild.
Note, the probiotic soda market is worth about $820 million now, and it doubled in size from 2024 to 2025.
Doubled in 1 year.
And that's still only about 2% of the total soda market overall.
Wait, only 2%? With numbers like that, I assumed it was way bigger already.
It's growing incredibly fast, but traditional soda still dominates by a huge margin.
The broader functional soda category is projected to cross $10 billion total, though.
So plenty of room left for your fridge to get even more crowded, apparently.
Please don't encourage this, Maya.
There's also this whole Fibermaxxing trend now, people deliberately maximizing their fiber intake.
Fibermaxxing. That's a genuinely funny name for eating more fiber.
It really is. But nearly 70% of consumers now list fiber as a top nutrient they actively want more of.
And about half of people are actually trying to add more fiber to their diet right now.
A quarter specifically want more prebiotics too, which is exactly what these sodas are selling.
So it's not just marketing pulled from nowhere. There's a real documented consumer desire behind it.
Which is honestly smart positioning from these companies. They found a real desire and built a product around it.
2/3 of consumers actually say they've acted on gut health concerns already, mostly older generations.
Makes sense. Digestive health tends to matter more as people get older.
To everyone watching, real question. Have you personally tried Fibermaxxing or bought a gut health product specifically because of all this buzz? Tell us which one and how it actually went.
And if you're the kind of person who wants the numbers behind the trend instead of just the hype, that's exactly our whole thing here at Conversation Point, so go ahead and subscribe if you're new. All right, Zack, let's actually get into your fridge situation properly since I already exposed you earlier.
Fine. I've got Olipop, Poppy, and one I genuinely can't pronounce the name of.
Do you actually notice any difference drinking them?
Genuinely, maybe? Or it's a placebo. I truly cannot tell at this point.
That's the most honest answer anyone's ever given about a wellness product.
I contain multitudes, Maya. Confused, bloated multitudes.
Please don't elaborate on the bloated part.
Too late. It's already out there.
I actually tried the kombucha route instead. Real fermented stuff, not the soda version.
How'd that go?
Genuinely rough on the taste front. Took me weeks to not make a face drinking it.
So you suffered for your gut health, and I just drank something that tastes like fun candy.
Basically, yes, which might actually connect to something important we'll get into later. Kombucha and prebiotic soda aren't really the same thing scientifically.
Right. One's real fermentation, the other's more of an engineered fiber blend in a familiar format.
Different products, similar branding, and most people probably don't know the distinction.
I definitely didn't know that until we started researching this episode, honestly.
Premium bacteria guy. Didn't know the difference between his own drinks. Iconic.
In my defense, the marketing makes them sound identical on purpose.
So tell us your actual experience. Have you tried gut health drinks, real fermented stuff, or both? And be honest, did you actually feel a difference, or are you just hoping really hard like Zack over here?
And if this episode's already making you reconsider what's actually in your own fridge, that's a great sign you should stick around, because next, we're digging into whether the science actually backs these specific products up.
All right, Zack, time to actually separate what's proven from what's marketing spin.
Let's start with what's genuinely solid. The gut-brain connection itself is real, backed by legitimate research, not just wellness branding.
Right. Gut bacteria does influence digestion, immune function, inflammation, and mental health, broadly speaking.
And fiber specifically has decades of solid research behind it too. That part isn't controversial at all.
Curious. So where does it actually start getting shaky?
Once you get to specific claims like this exact can of soda will improve your mood, focus, and sleep, all in one product.
That's a lot of very different outcomes for one drink to promise.
Genuinely too many, honestly. The broader science supports gut health mattering for those things generally, but not that one specific engineered product delivers all of them reliably.
It's a classic move, though. Take something broadly true, then attach it to a narrow, specific product, as if the research directly proves that exact item works.
Which happens across wellness marketing constantly, not just gut health specifically.
Personally, that's honestly why I feel weird about your soda collection, Zack. The individual claims on the can feel like a stretch.
Rude, but probably fair.
It doesn't mean the drinks are harmful, necessarily, just that the specific promises might be oversold relative to actual proof.
Right. Contains prebiotic fiber, which is generally good for gut health, is honestly true. This exact can will fix your sleep is a much bigger leap.
One's a nutrition fact, the other's basically a fortune cookie with a barcode.
A fortune cookie with a barcode. I'm stealing that.
Quick one for you all. Have you seen a gut health product make a claim that felt like a bit too much of a stretch? Drop the product and the claim below. We want to see the wildest ones.
Let's actually dig into that kombucha versus prebiotic soda distinction since we teased it earlier.
Please, because I suffered through actual kombucha for weeks, assuming it was basically the same category.
So kombucha is a genuinely fermented drink. It contains live probiotics, actual bacteria and yeast cultures that survived the fermentation process.
Which is exactly why it tastes the way it does. Real fermentation isn't always pleasant.
Your face every time you drank it agreed with that completely.
I made peace with it eventually. Mostly.
Prebiotic sodas like Olipop and Poppy work differently, though. They're engineered fiber blends built into a familiar soda format.
So no live bacteria at all?
Mostly not, no. Prebiotics are more like food for the bacteria already in your gut, rather than adding new bacteria directly.
So it's not lying exactly, but it's a genuinely different mechanism than what people probably assume.
Right. Most people lump probiotic, prebiotic, and fermented together as basically the same idea.
Which the branding honestly doesn't do much to correct either.
Doug Bolster from Olipop has actually talked about this directly, positioning the product as using a familiar soda format to deliver fiber people wouldn't otherwise get.
Which is actually a reasonable, honest framing if that's genuinely all they're claiming.
The issue is more in how the broader marketing and social media conversation stretches it further than that original framing.
That tracks with my own confusion, honestly. I assumed all these drinks worked the same basic way until we researched this.
Premium bacteria guy strikes again, still learning the basics of his own fridge.
You're never letting that go, are you?
Never, Maya. It's too good.
So, bottom line, kombucha delivers actual live cultures. Prebiotic soda delivers fiber to feed your existing gut bacteria. Different mechanisms, similar branding.
Both potentially useful, just not interchangeable, and definitely not magic.
To you all, did you already know that distinction, or did prebiotic and probiotic basically sound like the same word to you too? Be honest, we want to know how common this mix-up actually is.
And if you're learning something genuinely new right now, that's the whole reason we make these deep dives at Conversation Point. So make sure you're subscribed if this is your first time with us.
All right, real debate time. Does the science actually support these specific products or just the general concept of gut health?
I'll take the more generous side here. I think the products are a genuinely reasonable way to get real benefits, even if the marketing oversells it a bit.
I actually disagree there, Zack. I think there's a meaningful difference between contains something beneficial and is an effective health intervention.
Walk me through that distinction.
A can of soda with some added fiber isn't the same as eating whole foods naturally rich in fiber and genuine probiotics, like yogurt, vegetables, or real fermented foods.
That's fair. The soda format might make it feel like a complete solution when it's really just a small addition.
Right, and the danger is people might feel like they've handled their gut health by drinking one can without changing their actual diet at all.
That's honestly a real risk, a false sense of having solved something with minimal effort swap.
It's not that the product is fake or harmful, it's that it might function more as a permission slip to not think harder about the rest of your diet.
Which is actually a pretty common pattern with a lot of healthy branded products, not just this one.
I think that's honestly happened with your soda habit a little, if I'm being direct, Zack.
Ouch, but probably accurate. I have absolutely used the sodas as an excuse to not eat vegetables some days.
See, that's exactly the gap between the marketing and the actual outcome.
Okay, I'll shift my position a bit. The concept is legitimate, but I think you're right that the specific products can create a false sense of having addressed the issue.
See that? We actually landed somewhere again instead of just bickering the whole segment.
We keep doing this, Maya. I think it's becoming our actual personality at this point.
Agreeing. Genuine science exists underneath all this. Real products exist that touch that science, but the gap between the two is where all the marketing magic happens.
Which is honestly a useful lens for evaluating basically any wellness trend, not just this one.
So where do you land? Do these specific gut health products genuinely deliver, or are they more of a feel-good add-on riding on real but broader science? Tell us honestly in the comments.
And there's still a whole business and marketing angle to this we haven't touched yet, which honestly might change how you see your grocery store completely. So make sure you're subscribed to Conversation Point before we get into that next.
All right, Zack, let's follow the money on this one because it's genuinely a huge story.
Pepsi bought Poppy for nearly $2 billion in 2025.
$2 billion for a prebiotic soda brand that barely existed a few years earlier?
Big Soda clearly saw the writing on the wall and decided to just buy their way into the trend instead of competing against it.
It makes sense from a business angle, honestly. Traditional soda sales have been declining for years.
So this is basically Pepsi hedging against their own product's declining reputation.
Buy the thing that's making you look outdated, instantly look modern again.
That's genuinely the whole playbook in one sentence.
And Coke's getting into this space too, from what we found. Nobody wants to be left out of this specific trend.
Curious, do you think that changes the actual product once a giant company owns it, though?
Considering. Probably some, honestly. Scale usually means cheaper ingredients eventually, or at least pressure toward it.
Right, which is a real tension. The brand built its identity on being an alternative to Big Soda, and now it literally is Big Soda.
Rebel against corporate soda, now brought to you by an actual soda giant.
The irony writes itself, honestly.
This isn't unique to gut health drinks either. It happens constantly once something starts as a scrappy alternative and then gets big enough to acquire.
The wellness industry especially seems to follow this exact pattern over and over.
To everyone watching, quick one for you all. Did you know Pepsi owned Poppy before this video? Does that change how you feel about buying it, or does it genuinely not matter to you either way?
There's actually a genuine credibility gap here worth digging into, Maya. Industry surveys have flagged real consumer skepticism.
Skeptical how exactly?
People buying these products while simultaneously doubting whether they actually deliver the specific benefits advertised.
So it's not blind trust. People are buying with genuine uncertainty attached.
Which is honestly kind of a strange consumer behavior when you sit with it. Buying something you're not sure actually works.
Sounds exactly like Zack said at a situation from earlier, this whole episode.
I walked directly into that one, didn't I?
You did, and I'm not going to stop bringing it up.
Fair, I've earned this at this point.
I think part of the skepticism comes from just how saturated the wellness market has gotten in general. People have been burned by trends before.
Right, there's a kind of trend fatigue building up. Detox teas, appetite suppressant lollipops, a dozen other fads that didn't hold up.
So gut health products get bought partly on hope and partly on skepticism at the exact same time.
Which companies seem to actually understand, too. That's probably why brands like Olipop invest specifically in research programs to build some actual trust behind the branding.
Does that research genuinely hold up, though, or is it more marketing dressed up as science?
Mixed, honestly. Some companies do fund legitimate studies on their specific formulations, which is more than a lot of wellness brands bother doing.
That's actually a meaningful distinction. Funding real research, even if self-interested, is different from just slapping a health claim on packaging with zero backing.
Right, it doesn't remove all bias, but it's a genuinely higher bar than plenty of competitors are clearing.
I think that's honestly why I trust some of these brands slightly more than random supplement companies online.
Same, honestly. Not full trust, but more than zero.
Do you buy these products despite some doubt, like the numbers suggest most people do? Or are you either fully in or fully skeptical? Tell us where you actually land.
And if you appreciate us digging past the marketing surface like this, that's genuinely our whole approach here at Conversation Point, so make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already.
All right, real debate. Is this genuine public health innovation, or is it big soda just repackaging the same product with a health halo attached?
I'll actually push back on full cynicism here. Lower sugar, added fiber, that's a real, measurable improvement over traditional soda, regardless of who owns the brand.
I don't disagree that the formulation itself is better. My concern is more about the framing, not the actual ingredients.
Curious. What do you mean by framing, specifically?
Calling it a public health play, like Olipop has, feels like a much bigger claim than we made a somewhat healthier soda.
That's fair. There's a difference between a genuinely better product and a genuine public health solution at a population level.
Right. A slightly better soda isn't the same as solving America's fiber gap or fixing gut health at scale.
Especially when it's still, at the end of the day, a sugary carbonated drink, just with fiber added on top.
Which doesn't make it bad, necessarily, just makes the public health innovation language feel like a stretch.
I think I'm actually fully with you on that distinction now. Better product, overstated framing.
Look at that. Agreement again. We really can't help it this series.
It's become a running joke of our whole channel at this point, honestly.
Genuinely might be true. Every debate somehow lands on both things are true, just more nuanced than the headline.
Which might actually be the most honest takeaway from this entire topic, if we're being real about it.
The products themselves aren't scams. The bigger claims wrapped around them just outpace what they can actually deliver.
Better soda, yes. Public health revolution, not quite yet.
So where do you land on this one? Genuine improvement worth celebrating, or corporate marketing dressed up as a health mission? We want your honest take in the comments.
There's still one big question left, though, about who actually needs to care about any of this in the first place, so make sure you're subscribed to Conversation Point for that final piece.
All right, Zack, final piece. Who actually needs to care about all this versus who's just following the trend?
The data actually points somewhere specific here. Action on gut health concerns is mostly concentrated in older generations.
Which makes sense. Digestive issues genuinely become more common as people age.
Right. Someone dealing with actual chronic digestive discomfort has a real practical reason to care about this deeply.
What about younger people, though? Is there still a legitimate reason for them to pay attention?
Some, yes. The gut-brain connection means even younger people dealing with stress or mood issues might genuinely benefit from paying attention to gut health.
So it's not purely an age thing, but the urgency and stakes definitely shift depending on your actual situation.
Right. Someone with no digestive issues drinking prebiotic soda is doing something fairly low stakes either way.
Meanwhile, someone with actual chronic gut issues probably needs more than a flavored soda to fix things.
Fair point. Nobody's solving IBS with 3 cans of Olipop.
Which is honestly the core distinction we keep circling back to this whole series. General wellness trend versus actual medical need.
If you've got real symptoms, that's a doctor conversation, not a grocery store aisle decision.
If you're just a generally healthy person curious about optimizing things a little, these products are probably low risk, just don't expect miracles.
Low risk, moderately tasty, occasionally overpromised. That's basically the whole category summarized.
You should put that on a shirt.
Maybe I will, right next to my premium bacteria hoodie.
To the audience, quick one for everyone watching. Do you have an actual digestive health reason for caring about this, or are you more in the generally curious camp, like most of us? Be honest below.
Let's actually give people something practical here, since we've spent this whole series debating theory.
Good idea. What would you actually tell someone trying to genuinely improve their gut health?
Real whole foods first, honestly. Vegetables, whole grains, actual fermented foods like yogurt or real kimchi.
Those give you both fiber and live cultures naturally without needing a can with a marketing team behind it.
Right, and they've got decades of consistent research behind them, not just a few years of trendy buzz.
Curious, so where do the sodas and supplements actually fit in, if at all?
As an addition, maybe, not a replacement. Think of them as a small bonus on top of an already decent diet.
Not a permission slip to skip vegetables entirely, in other words.
Exactly the phrase from earlier. I'm officially banned from using sodas as my vegetable excuse now.
Banned, effective immediately.
Understood, Maya. Effective immediately.
I think the other practical piece is just being skeptical of any single product claiming to fix multiple, totally different things at once.
Right. Mood, focus, sleep, digestion, immunity, all from one can. That's a genuine red flag phrase to watch for.
If a product name drops 5 unrelated benefits, that's usually marketing outrunning the actual research.
A good rule of thumb across basically any wellness category, honestly, not just gut health specifically.
I think I'll actually keep drinking my kombucha, painful face and all, just because the fermentation science feels more solid to me personally.
Suffering nobly for gut science. Very on brand for you, Maya.
Someone has to suffer for the bit.
I think I'll actually keep a couple sodas around too. Just recalibrate it as a treat, not a health strategy.
That feels like a genuinely reasonable place for both of us to land, honestly. So what's your actual gut health game plan going forward? More whole foods, keeping the trendy products as a fun bonus, or some mix of both? Tell us your real plan below.
And if this series has genuinely helped you think more clearly about a trend you've just been following blindly, that's exactly why we make these deep dives at Conversation Point. So make sure you're subscribed before we wrap this whole thing up.
All right, let's actually close this whole thing out. We covered a lot of ground today, Zack.
From your suspiciously stocked fridge to a $2 billion Pepsi acquisition, genuinely a wide range for one topic.
I still can't believe I found 3 different sodas in there at the start of this.
In my defense, research required extensive personal sampling.
Extensive personal sampling. Sure, Zack, we'll call it that.
So here's my honest final take. The gut-brain science is real and genuinely fascinating, but the specific products riding on it oversell what any single can or supplement can actually do.
I'd say the same. Real food, real fermentation, and consistent habits matter more than any one trendy product.
Doesn't mean the products are scams, just means they're a small piece, not the whole solution people sometimes treat them as.
And the corporate money side of it is worth remembering too. Just because something feels like a scrappy health brand doesn't mean it stays that way forever.
Pepsi owning Poppy is honestly the perfect symbol of that whole pattern.
I actually feel a little better about my kombucha suffering now, knowing the science behind it holds up more than I expected going in.
Meanwhile, I feel personally attacked about my sodas, but also weirdly informed.
Informed and personally attacked. A great note to end on, honestly.
I think that's actually accurate for most people watching this too, if we're being honest.
Learning something real while also realizing your own habits might need a small rethink.
Which is genuinely the whole goal of these episodes, more than telling anyone exactly what to do.
So here's our final ask. Go check your own fridge or pantry and actually look at the claims on anything gut health related you own. See if they hold up to what we covered today.
Thank you all so much for sticking with us through this entire deep dive into bacteria, fiber, sodas, and apparently my own dietary choices getting roasted the whole way through.
You held up admirably, honestly.
I contain multitudes, Maya. We covered that already.
If this episode changed how you think about a trend you'd just been following along with, that's genuinely everything we wanted from it.
So make sure you're subscribed to Conversation Point, because we've got plenty more of these science versus hype deep dives coming.
And maybe don't let Zack's footage anywhere near the next one.
No promises, honestly.
We'll see you in the next one. Go drink some water, eat a vegetable, and enjoy your soda in moderation.